The third day of the Tour de France dawned with anticipation, as fans and riders alike expected a classic sprint stage, one of those days where the peloton rolls through picturesque city streets, the tension slowly building toward a high-speed showdown. The atmosphere was electric, with supporters lining the barriers, waving flags, and soaking in the unique energy that only the Tour can bring. Riders gathered at the start line, focused and determined, each team with their own strategy for the day ahead. The script seemed set: a controlled race, a breakaway reeled in, and a furious dash to the finish. All eyes were on the sprinters, especially Jasper Philipsen, who had dominated the previous sprints and was widely tipped to add another victory to his tally. But cycling, like life, rarely follows the script. In the final nerve-wracking kilometers, disaster struck. Jasper Philipsen, the man in green and the peloton's most feared sprinter, was caught in a dramatic crash. In an instant, hopes were dashed, not just for Philipsen, but for his entire team, who had worked tirelessly to position him for the win. The crash sent shockwaves through the peloton. Riders swerved to avoid the chaos, some narrowly escaping disaster themselves. The green jersey competition, once seemingly locked up by Philipsen, was suddenly thrown wide open, leaving rivals stunned and strategists scrambling to recalculate their chances. Amid the confusion and heartbreak, Tim Merlier of Soudal Quickstep seized his moment. With nerves of steel and perfect timing, he powered through the mayhem to claim a dramatic and emotional stage victory. His celebration at the line was a mix of relief, joy, and disbelief, a testament to the unpredictable nature of the Tour. The day's earlier slow, almost sleepy pace was obliterated by the brutal finale. In a matter of seconds, the race was transformed, reminding everyone, fans, riders, and teams alike, just how quickly fortunes can change in the world's greatest cycling race. The aftermath was a scene of chaos: bikes tangled, riders shaken, and dreams abruptly ended. For Alpecin Desuning, the crash was a devastating blow. Their entire tour had been built around Philipsen's sprinting prowess, and now, with their star rider out of contention, the team faced a major setback. In the team bus and on the roadside, discussions began immediately: how to regroup, how to salvage their tour, and who might step up in the days to come. In stark contrast, Soudal Quickstep erupted in celebration. Merlier's victory was a huge morale boost, especially as their general classification leader, Remco Evenepoel, had also survived a late crash. The team's resilience and unity shone through, proving that in the Tour, adaptability is just as important as strength. The unpredictable nature of the Tour de France was on full display. Months of meticulous planning and preparation can be upended in a single moment of misfortune. Riders and staff were left to process the day's events, some frustrated, others simply grateful to have made it through unscathed. As the sun set, Tim Merlier stood on the podium, a deserving winner, his trophy gleaming under the lights. Yet the mood was tinged with sadness. Philipsen's absence was palpable, a reminder of the fine line between triumph and heartbreak in this unforgiving race. With Stage 4 looming, the peloton must move forward, but the loss of one of its brightest stars will be felt for days to come. The race continues, but the dynamics have shifted, and every team is now recalibrating their ambitions. The green jersey competition, once a one-man show, is now wide open. The remaining sprinters sense a rare opportunity. Suddenly, the dream of wearing green in Paris feels within reach for many who had all but given up hope. In Turin, the finish line became a stage for both glory and heartbreak. The cheers of the crowd mingled with the quiet disappointment of those whose dreams had ended. In a single day, the narrative of the Tour was rewritten, setting the stage for even more drama in the days ahead. Jasper Philipsen's Tour de France campaign, filled with high hopes and fierce determination, came to a sudden and devastating halt in a split second. The Belgian sprinter, known for his explosive speed and tactical brilliance, had been a favorite for the green jersey, and his team, Alpecin Desuning, had built their strategy around his strengths. Every pedal stroke, every calculated move in the peloton, was aimed at another stage win and a shot at glory. But just under 3 kilometers from the finish line on a flat, fast stage, the race's intensity reached its peak. Sprint trains surged forward, each team jostling for position, the peloton a blur of color and speed as they hurtled toward the line. The tension was palpable, with riders packed wheel to wheel, nerves stretched to the breaking point. In the blink of an eye, disaster struck. A slight touch of wheels at the front of the group triggered a violent chain reaction. Bikes tangled, riders lost balance, and chaos erupted. Philipsen, boxed in with nowhere to escape, was caught in the carnage. He crashed hard onto the unforgiving tarmac, immediately clutching his shoulder in agony. The pain was evident, but so was the heartbreak. His dreams of another green jersey and perhaps more stage wins were shattered in an instant. Medical staff rushed to his side, their faces etched with concern. The diagnosis was swift and grim: a fractured clavicle. There was no question, Philipsen would have to withdraw from the race immediately, his tour over before it truly began. The crash involved several riders, leaving a trail of battered bodies and broken bikes in its wake. But among all the casualties, Philipsen was the most high-profile, his absence sending shockwaves through the cycling world. Some riders, battered and bruised, managed to remount their bikes and continue. their jerseys torn and faces grim, yet the peloton felt the loss of its top sprinter deeply. His presence had always been a catalyst for electrifying finishes. Sprint finishes in the Tour de France are always fraught with danger, the speeds often exceeding 60 kilometers per hour. This incident was a stark reminder of the razor-thin margin between triumph and disaster, and the ever-present risks these athletes face in pursuit of victory. In the aftermath, Alpecin-Deceuninck's focus shifted dramatically. No longer chasing stage wins, the team rallied around their fallen leader, offering support and comfort as Philipsen was taken away for treatment. With Philipsen's tour ending before the mountains even began, the team was forced to regroup and redefine their goals. The loss of their star sprinter left a void that would be nearly impossible to fill. The mood in the team bus was somber, the reality sinking in. Losing a sprinter of Philipsen's caliber is a blow few teams can recover from, both strategically and emotionally. The dynamic of the sprint stages, and indeed the entire race, shifted dramatically in that single, brutal moment. With one of the sport's brightest stars sidelined, the Tour de France was left to find a new rhythm, forever changed by the crash that ended a champion's run. Amid the chaos and unpredictability that defined the Tour de France, the peloton was thrown into disarray. Riders jostled for position, nerves frayed, and the tension in the air was palpable as the race barreled toward its dramatic conclusion. The road was littered with the aftermath of crashes, bikes tangled, and riders shaken, a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in this unforgiving sport. In the midst of this turmoil, Tim Merlier delivered a flawless sprint, showcasing not only his raw speed but also his tactical brilliance. He navigated the chaos with the poise of a seasoned professional, eyes fixed on the finish line as the world watched in anticipation. With a final explosive burst of power, Merlier surged ahead to claim a spectacular victory for Soudal Quickstep, crossing the line with arms raised in triumph. His celebration was a release of pure emotion, the culmination of months of preparation and a testament to his sprinting prowess. Merlier's success was made even more impressive by his ability to avoid the chaos caused by Jasper Philipsen's crash, which sent shockwaves through the peloton and forced riders to make split-second decisions to stay upright. Thanks to his perfect positioning and razor-sharp instincts, Merlier was able to steer clear of danger, then launch his sprint with unstoppable power, leaving his rivals in his wake. Merlier's win was not just a personal triumph, but a moment of glory for his team, a shining example of teamwork, strategy, and individual brilliance coming together on cycling's biggest stage. Yet, even as the team celebrated, concern lingered in the air for their leader, Remco Evenepoel. The mood in the Soudal Quickstep camp was a mix of jubilation and anxiety, as all eyes turned to the fate of their general classification hopeful. Evenepoel had crashed separately, just moments after the Philipsen incident, his fall coming at a critical juncture in the race. The sight of their leader on the ground sent a ripple of worry through the team and fans alike. Fortunately, Evenepoel's fall occurred inside the final 3 kilometers, a protected zone where crashes do not result in time losses for the general classification. This rule spared him from losing precious seconds in the overall standings. The peloton regrouped and GC contenders breathed a collective sigh of relief, but the incident was a stark reminder of how quickly disaster can strike, even for the best prepared riders. In the team car, anxious faces watched as the drama unfolded, knowing that a single misstep could have derailed their tour ambitions. It was a close call, one that left everyone on edge. Evenepoel, scraped but unbroken, remounted his bike with determination etched on his face. His jersey torn and his body battered, he refused to let the crash define his day. He pushed through the pain, finishing the stage with grit and resilience, earning the respect of teammates and rivals alike. His ability to recover and persevere under pressure was on full display. For Soudal Quickstep, the stage was a roller coaster of emotions: elation for Merlier's victory, anxiety for Evenepoel's crash, and relief that their GC leader could continue. In the team bus, the mood was a blend of celebration and concern, as riders and staff processed the whirlwind of events that had unfolded in just a few minutes. Merlier's powerful sprint under immense pressure proved his status as one of the peloton's elite finishers, capable of seizing opportunity even in the most chaotic circumstances. Meanwhile, Evenepoel's ability to get back on the bike and finish the stage showed his mental toughness and commitment to the fight for yellow. As the team left Turin, their emotions were mixed: pride in Merlier's win, relief that Evenepoel was still in contention, and a renewed awareness of the dangers that lurk around every corner in the Tour de France. There was joy for Merlier, who had delivered a memorable victory, and relief for Evenepoel, who had survived a scare and lived to fight another day. The day served as a powerful reminder of the Tour's ever-present dangers. One Belgian star celebrated on the podium, while another was helped back to his feet, both united by the unpredictable nature of the race. The drama of the day perfectly encapsulated the highs and lows of Grand Tour racing, where triumph and disaster are often separated by mere seconds. For Soudal Quickstep, it was a day to remember, a stage that tested their resolve, showcased their talent, and brought them closer together as a team. As they prepare for the battles ahead, today's events serve as both a celebration and a warning. In the Tour de France, anything can happen, and every moment counts. Stage 3 will be remembered for its strangely passive peloton. For over 160 kilometers, no one attacked, and the group rolled along at a leisurely pace. The lack of aggression was so pronounced that no combativity prize was awarded, a rare occurrence. Riders seemed to be conserving energy for the looming alpine stages, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. The slow pace lulled everyone into a false sense of security. But as the peloton hit the technical run into Turin, nerves and congestion spiked. The sudden ramp-up in speed set the stage for chaos and crashes. What looked like a relaxed day became one of the most dangerous. The Tour's quietest moments can hide the most violent outcomes. Stage 3's calm masked a storm that changed the race. Amid the sprint drama, Tim Wellens of UAE Team Emirates quietly seized the polka dot jersey. The stage's lone categorized climb, the Côte de Montcalieri, offered a single point, enough for Wellens to overtake teammate Tadej Pogacar. UAE set a sharp tempo, then Wellens attacked, cresting the climb first and claiming the jersey. This move was more than symbolic. It freed Pogacar from extra podium duties and gave UAE tactical flexibility. Wellens, a hardworking domestique, now wears the iconic polka dots, a personal milestone and a team advantage. With Wellens in the jersey, UAE can play more cards in the mountains. Controlling secondary jerseys is part of the Tour's grand chess match. For Wellens, it's a reward for loyalty. For UAE, a strategic win. The battle for the climber's jersey is underway, with Wellens as its new leader. Small moves can have big impacts in the Tour de France. Questions swirl around Jonas Vingegaard's form as he returns from a serious crash. His wife's candid interview revealed both ambition and uncertainty, adding a human touch to his comeback. Visma Lease, bike's management, responded with reassurances, emphasizing Vingegaard's thorough recovery and their confidence in his ability to compete. The plan let him grow into the race, peaking in the decisive third week. So far, Vingegaard has stayed safe, but the real test comes in the high mountains. The cycling world watches, wondering if he can overcome both physical and psychological scars. His journey is one of the Tour's most compelling subplots. The stage is set for a fascinating, uncertain battle for a third consecutive title. Stage 4 brings the Tour's first true mountain test as the race returns to France. The 138-kilometer route from Pinerolo to Valoir features 3 legendary alpine climbs, including the fearsome Col du Galibier. This is where GC contenders like Pogacar, Vingegaard and Evenepoel will be truly tested. The Galibier's altitude and difficulty will expose any weakness, making it a pivotal moment for the yellow jersey. After the summit, a technical descent to Valoir awaits. Skill and nerve will be as important as climbing legs. Expect attacks, time gaps, and the first real shakeup in the overall standings. Will Pogacar attack? Can Vingegaard respond? Is Evenepoel ready for the high mountains? The phony war ends here. The real battle begins. Stage 4 promises fireworks and the first big answers of this tour. While the men's tour delivered drama, the Giro d'Italia Done saw Anna Henderson seize the spotlight. The British rider attacked late on stage 2, conquering the hills of Pescara to claim both the stage and the Maglia Rosa. Her solo victory was a masterclass in timing and strength, putting Visma Lease bike in control of the race. Henderson now faces pressure from elite climbers as the Giro heads into tougher terrain. Her team will defend the pink jersey, setting up a tactical battle against rivals like SD Works Pro Time. The day's events in both tours highlight the unpredictable, thrilling nature of stage racing. As the summer of cycling heats up, new heroes are emerging and the battles are just beginning.